When you're circumnavigating the dangerous suburbs of Edmonton, Edmonton Suburban Survival Training has got your back. I've been stuffed in the closet many times before. Well, you'll see me one more time, and the way to get out. Oh, don't do that to me. What are you doing? Why do you do this to me? Come on. Okay, so now that you're in this position, I'm going to warn you. You will need to do a little bit of prep work for this. You definitely need to have established a little bit of a route of communication with the New World Order. I would say it takes around 2 weeks to just establish a new one, but definitely try to use previous ones if possible. That cuts down your time by a lot. But you definitely need to establish contact with the New World Order. That's a must for this. And in particular, you need to request to use some of their brainwave altering stuff. I don't know how it works, but it works. So if you're trying to establish a new contact line with the New World Order, there are several ways. So number one, I would recommend you staked out this closet beforehand, or wardrobe, wherever it is, and put a handheld phone. If you dial 666, then call, and through a couple other convoluted techniques, you should get to the New World Order. But there's some other methods available. Human sacrifice is pretty good. Hillary Clinton especially is like really good. Like you'll get really, really good service out of that. But yeah, that's not really the focus of this series. It'll mainly be looking at how to escape from the closet, but otherwise, that's sort of the main method to establish a contact. So from this point onwards, I'm assuming you've already established contact with the New World Order. When the New World Order receives your phone call, you should make it clear that you're asking for brainwaves directed at a certain location. It is extremely important that they act urgently. You must get the brainwaves on immediately. Okay, so now that you've received the brainwaves, you need to basically direct them to the correct person and for their purpose. Now, even if they send the strongest they have, the absolute strongest they have, it won't be enough to get them to outright open the door. What you want to hope, you want to play the long game, right? You want to hope that over time you can wear them down. Now, the thing you want to do is you basically want to brainwash them into bringing you food every day and to be good captors. Now, don't fall to Stockholm Syndrome. That'll be a separate issue which you can address. There are several methods to deal with this. I'd actually recommend that, like, if you look over here in this set, they have batteries in here, and if you, like, chew on them, that usually helps. So when you're playing the long game, you have to be very careful about your actions. Every day counts. You know, when your captors bring you food, what you want to do is you always want to separate the most salty foods from the least salty foods. You want to also try to see before getting captured, like how much food you actually need to, like, physically to survive, and try to eat only that amount, and then use all the salt you can to deal with the lock. Now, unfortunately, when it comes to dealing with the lock, the method I'm about to describe only works for non-C6 locks. So if it's a C6 lock, well, then you're out of luck. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about it. But otherwise, this method should work pretty good. So now that you've received your food, again, salty food, put it on the lock, make sure it rusts over time, and then eat the other one. If it's less clear, you're gonna have to make a choice which one to eat and which one to not. But obviously this one has more salt than this. Anyways, now's really the part of the waiting game. There's some pretty fun games you can try on this phone, but like they kind of help pass the time. But I'd kind of recommend like sleeping, and probably a very rookie mistake people tend to have is that they use all their energy on like screaming and banging. That's not going to work in the long term. Like you're going to run out of energy. You're going to run out of stamina. So I've seen several like very talented, very athletic like youths kind of get carried away with respect to banging and like other things. And like it's not good for, you know, playing the long game. Because it'll work maybe for 4 or 5 days, like we'll be able to do it, but after the 5th or 6th, like I've done it several times, not gonna work. Again, like you don't want your closet escape attempt to turn into a disaster, so like avoid banging at all costs. Okay, so in this run, I barely survived. I had to eat my glasses, but like it's fine. Uh, I can break out now. The lock is pretty weak, I think.